today we're checking out the Nationals Auto Museum. You're supposed to be going to Mercedes-Benz, but heard this one was a lot bigger, a lot more wide selection of cars, so we're gonna check it out. Let's get started. So here we have the museum itself. I couldn't believe they had Michael Schumacher's F1 race car there, but just looking at it, this place was very impressive. It was very cool to see. There's a lot of interesting cars here, and there's a lot of big history and heritage between them all, and I'm glad I get to show them to you. So throughout this entire tour, we're going to be checking out a lot of interesting vehicles, a lot of interesting different exhibits, and I'm glad I get to show you guys. This up here is the Ferrari floor. Just saw this F1 car for Ferrari driven by Claire Regazzoni and Mario Andretti. Sorry I'm whispering, it's just really quiet up here. And then of course this one, driven by Niki Lauda. I think it was in the Rush film, or this was the car that was in the Rush film, driven by him. A bunch of these other Ferraris shows like the history of how they started and where they're going now. From 1984 all the way to 2016. This of course the Ferrari 330 V12 engine driven at Le Mans 1966. 1967 I should say. Man, Ferrari, they just own motorsport, I feel like. They're just so synonymous. You always see them everywhere. And of course, there's a Ferrari boat. Ferrari boat because why not? Now, this is more like it. The F1 car driven by Michael Schumacher when he was racing for Ferrari. He won 5 world championships with this. He is the most successful F1 driver for Ferrari, as you can see here. Niki Lauda and Ascari only had 2 world championships. Everyone else just had 1. Michael Schumacher had 5 world championships with Ferrari. I forgot what was the name of the team before he came up, but yeah, 5 here, 2 another one, which made 7 total. 7-time world champion before Lewis Hamilton. Now this was the Ferrari Dino 196, the first Ferrari with a mid-engine. This one was an original race car. As you can see, there were no special seats, no real safety features. It really showed just how brave and how daring the drivers were back then compared to now. I mean, doing any type of motorsport racing is very gutsy, but doing it like this, that was insane. Guys back then were really brave. There were no real safety limitations like we have now, so when they got in there, it was a literal ride or die race. That could be your first race. Your first race could be your last race. Then 1951 Ferrari Sinclair, the first Ferrari racing car that was ever in America. You know, I almost didn't know it was one because it was in red. It was all blue. I feel like if you're gonna have a Ferrari, it has to be red. It can't be any other color. Well, red or yellow, maybe black. This was Michael Schumacher's steering wheel. This was his helmet. These look incredible, man. This is the car that Kimi Räikkönen drove to win a world championship back when they were V8s and not turbo V6s or hybrid V6s. Speaking of which, check out these. These were real Formula 1 engines in my opinion. V10, V12, and V8. Now, there's nothing really super wrong with the newer engines from F1. I know they're going to be going with a new hybrid system that's going to be using more battery power, but I feel like Formula 1, what set it apart from NASCAR, IndyCar were the V12 and the V10s. I mean, look at these engines, how powerful they were. These engines powered this car. Granted, this car was a V8 specifically, But those more powerful engines were in these, and these guys always race with them. And it's like, now we have only like hybrid V6s. I feel like it don't sound the same, doesn't feel the same as it would with a more powerful engine. And while I'm here, check this out, man. Like, the modern day Formula One cars probably be a lot bigger and wider than this, but I'm standing up right now, and I'm pretty sure up to my knee is where this car is. So they were completely low to the ground. Jeez. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I think I found my next car. Yep, it's this one. I don't want any of these, just this one. I'll walk out of here with this one. I'll get the paperwork ready later on. I actually saw this film on Amazon. Highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's mostly a B-roll type of film, but it's still a good watch, especially because it gets right to the action. No drama, no backstory. We're racing at Le Mans. The race happens at Le Mans, and when the race is over, the movie's over. Boom. This was the OG Bugatti engine right here. 8 cylinders. So interesting thing about this Bugatti here, this is the first time I had ever seen one completely stripped down. It's the first time I've ever seen one up close like this, even though it's just in a museum. But I get to see the mid-engine here, their V8, V10 I imagine. But just seeing all this carbon fiber, all this work done to it, these cooling vents on the sides, all of this, it's really impressive to see how they made it, and it's really cool to see it up close and personal like this. Now this is how you make a museum. Look at all these, especially like how it all just curves around like that with all these cars from history. Man, wait, is that? That's one of the Mercedes Benz's in Gran Turismo. That's the F1 cars. I think I've seen that one before. Hold on. Another Lamborghini Countach. But more importantly, we just found a DeLorean. Whoa. From Back to the Future. This was an American-made car just for the movie. Man, seeing it in person is a whole different feeling than seeing it on the big screen. My big screen, I mean my TV. They usually release older films at the movie theater where I live, but they haven't done that for this yet. And if they did, I probably missed it. So here's a fun fact about this Mercedes-Benz right here. This Mercedes-Benz, if you look it up on YouTube, the AMG 1, it rode at Le Mans, or not Le Mans, sorry. I keep seeing Le Mans stuff all around here, I get them mixed up. It was at the Nurburgring actually. It ran the track, and I think it did it in like 6 or 7 minutes, maybe less than that or around that time. Seeing this up close it is amazing to see. I like how they kept the F1 team like design scheme going with the whole like black right here and the teal line, the Mercedes-Benz logos. 6-cylinder Formula One technology, 2016 F1 engine, modified for road use. Beautiful machine, beautiful. I think this car was also in Gran Turismo 7 in their legendary section. So all the F1 cars here, all these, this one is the most iconic. This one needs no introduction, but you're gonna get one anyway. McLaren MP4 FA, driven by none other than who I consider to be the greatest F1 driver of all time, Ayrton Senna. V10 powered from McLaren, Honda engine. This is, you know, Honda engines are good when someone like Ayrton Senna is winning races in Monaco non-stop with them. This is amazing. They came back now, modern day, they were helping out Red Bull, and they're doing an exclusive partnership with Aston Martin now. I'm telling you, Aston Martin really want to be world champions again. This car is amazing, man. Now, of course, it's in Gran Turismo, but seeing it in person, I can't believe it, man. This is the most beautiful car I've seen here. I know we've seen a lot of Ferraris, but this one is the most beautiful one I've ever seen here. Got more Le Mans cars here, including the Mercedes-Benz. I want to say that this one here is the CLR GTR, but I haven't seen any like pamphlets or anything saying that it is, so I can't really confirm that. I'll have to like get information later. All these cars, including this one here, I've seen them in Gran Turismo. I've seen them in the game. They all race at Le Mans. I don't know if they've won or gotten podiums, but they were there. Okay, I looked it up. It's true. That car up there, that Mercedes-Benz just saw, that was the one that flew at Le Mans. This is a much better view of the cars here. Yep, that Mercedes-Benz on the right, that one flipped, but they all were at Le Mans. So these were more OG F1 cars. Again, little to no safety. Took a lot of bravery to drive these. And these were trailers that they came in. They weren't electric like we had, so they had to carry them out, roll them out, just like this. All the parts were in the trailer. They had to use them to repair the car, change the stance, fix the suspension, anything that happened to it. All on the fly right here. So Mercedes-Benz here, that flew at Le Mans, 1955, just flew over the barriers right into the stands. This was a real tragedy of Le Mans. If I had to guess, based on like what I've been reading here, seems like the issue is more a man, what's the word? It's a ground effect thing, or it's keeping it to the ground. The aerodynamics of it, making it not flip at high speeds. You gotta make sure that the weight is distributed evenly, the aerodynamics are correct, getting all those things right so that this doesn't happen again, or in this case consistently. From 1955 to 1999, it's just something you really want to avoid. A gar will be put up here too. Always had a soft spot for graffiti art, especially this kind of looks like this. And there's a moon car built for space, because why not? These were the OG boxer engines back in the day. 4 cylinders, perfectly balanced. Check this out, this is massive. These things are huge. As promised, we found a castle. And this place is massive. You guys gotta see it. regular bells. I'm guessing they each had a different meaning for different things. Like that big bell must have been to alert for a storm, and then the fire bell was for a fire. Depending on the diameter of the bell, must have been like its resonance.
Right, you can feel it, like you get that.
You know how our bodies are partially made of water?
Yes.
Maybe because the sound traveling through our bodies through the water inside our system. And that's the end of another video. Another day, another accomplishment. Enjoyed the castle most of all, I think. Actually, I enjoyed the castle, but the art museum was probably the best part. Unfortunately, we couldn't do any sim racing there. We are going to try and see if we can do the motion sim for that esports place. But all in all, this was probably one of the second best things to do on this trip. First, of course, was Nurburgring, but you know how it is. So, COJR, Joseph signing off. See you later. Bye.